This YouTube broadcast of NDTV. Today we are going to discuss what has happened in Kashmir. This is a historic day, a new dawn in Kashmir, in the history of Jammu Kashmir and Ladakh, in the history of that state. You have a situation where finally the decision that was taken on the 5th of August or was initiated in Parliament on the 5th of August has now been implemented. So what has happened? Two states or two union territories, to be precise, have now been formed. One is Jammu and Kashmir and the other is Ladakh. Both of them will have their own lieutenant governors who took oath of office today. Both of them will have their own administration and they will be governed directly by the center, because this is not technically a state, it's a union territory, which means that the central exercises or continues to exercise its control over this entire region. Back in the day in August, when it was decided that something like this needs to be done, the government explained the reasons why it chose for the option of a union territory and not the state. They feel that at a time where there is so much volatility, particularly from the point of view of security, it is very important for these functions to directly report to the center. So now there is absolute alignment as far as the police is concerned, the paramilitary forces are concerned, and the army is concerned. So all three wings of security now report technically to the center in these two states. Why is this important? At least now there will be absolute cohesive action, if it were, in terms of control and response to any security situation. It's noteworthy that things were pretty much the same for the past 3 years in the state of Jammu and Kashmir when it was a state, because it was technically under central rule, governor's rule. The police reported to the governor, and it's in a way considered a form of central rule. So in terms of the administration of Jammu and Kashmir is concerned, to that extent, they already have seen what central rule is actually going to be like, or life as a union territory is going to be like. So there won't be much surprises as far as Jammu Kashmir and Ladakh is concerned post this change. But it's historic because this was one of the promises that the Bharatiya Janata Party had continued to make, and they have implemented it. They chose the day of the 31st of October because this is somewhat symbolic. This is also the birth anniversary of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. He's known as the Iron Man of India, the man who united the country. So to choose this day as the day when it's eventually decided to go for the big split is actually rich with symbolism. But it also led to a huge controversy between the Congress and the Bharatiya Janata Party, with the BJP claiming that the unfulfilled promise of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel has been completed, and this will mark the beginning of peace and prosperity in that region, and its alienation is going to end. In fact, the Home Minister Rajnath Singh, the Home Minister Amit Shah, he in fact went on to say that the biggest gateway to terrorism was Article 370 and 35A, and the government decided to do away with that. So the gateway to terrorism is now gone, and this will bring about some change and peace and prosperity in the region. The Congress came immediately back. In fact, if you want, I can tell you what the Congress said. You have that's a small script that I wrote on the politics that was played on this issue. So you've got Congress MP Manish Tiwari, who says the multicultural crown of India, Jammu and Kashmir, has been dismembered for ideological reasons. BJP government 72 years post-partition validates the two-nation theory today, defeating the purpose of accession. right? So that's one view within the Congress party, exposing once again that the opinion in the Congress party as far as the abrogation of 370 is concerned is completely divided. Because on one hand in the Congress you have some people who have supported the abrogation of 370. On the other hand, you have some people in the Congress who feel that we support the abrogation, but we do not support the manner in which this abrogation has come. And then you've got a third lot in the Congress party which feels that the abrogation itself is wrong because it propagates the two-nation theory. So, I mean, still, even now, you don't have cohesive action as far as, or cohesive decision-making or thought process on this issue in the Congress party. That's point number one. Point number two, as far as legacy wars are concerned, the symbolism of today was that the day that was chosen was Sardar Patel's birth anniversary. Obviously, there has been a bit of a war between the Congress and the BJP over the legacy of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. The Congress feels that he was a proud congressman. The BJP feels that he did not get his due under the tall leadership of the then Congress leaders like Jawaharlal Nehru. Priyanka Gandhi hit right back in order to correct a little bit of the legacy chipping that is happening from the Bharatiya Janata Party, where she tweeted and said that he was a proud congressman, and the BJP must not forget that he was against the RSS. So that is one correction that Priyanka Gandhi Vadra tried to make when she revisited this legacy war. So all of this is happening as of this moment on the issue of Jammu and Kashmir. Lots of politics. We don't expect this politics to die down anytime soon. The motive and the reason behind this move, that is also under question after all these months. Getting international MPs to come and visit and not allowing Indian MPs to go there is also a matter of politics. Amid all of this, I think the most important point that we need to keep in mind is that now that a move has been taken, now that in the words of the central government, Jammu, Kashmir and Ladakh have been completely integrated and united with the mainstream. Among the cosmetic changes that have taken place, that Radio Kashmir has become All India Radio and all that, and now the LGs have taken over and administration has taken over. The biggest promise that was made by the administration, by the Modi government, now has to be fulfilled. This is the time to deliver on the promise, because if you do not deliver on the promise, it will appear as if this was nothing more than just a political agenda which made no difference to the lives of people in Kashmir. The government has promised peace and prosperity. Just on these two counts, I say, if the government delivers and is able to justify its action, then I guess a lot of people through the course of history are going to hail this as a positive step and will consider this as a step up or a step towards improvement of people or the lives in Jammu, Kashmir and Ladakh. So that, according to me, is the biggest challenge. But I feel with a delayed investors meeting, which was supposed to happen in October, it was deferred. And with the spate of terror attacks that are happening as of this moment, where you have Apple sellers being killed, where you have laborers, non-Kashmiri laborers being killed by terrorists, and all of that is happening. In many cities, you've got grenade attacks taking place. It's far from peaceful as of this moment, and I think it will be safe to conclude that this isn't the smoothest or the best of start as far as that process of peace and security is concerned. The only saving grace is that the government can turn around and say that compare this to 2008, 2010 and 2016 as to the number of lives that were lost in agitations. That has not happened this time around, where a historic step like this has been taken, and yet that has not happened. So that the government wants to credit itself. But the point is, when you talk about giving people peace and prosperity, and you felt that there were certain things that were gateways to terrorism, and by taking them, peace and prosperity will return, then the government has to show that this is actually the truth, that they're actually delivering, that this is actually happening. And now the government, I don't think, can blame anyone else. They are the whole soul in charge of the security system. They cannot blame the state leadership. They cannot blame Article 370 because none of that exists anymore. They cannot blame the separatists because they are now under house arrest or irrelevant. They cannot blame anyone because everything now reports to them. So now all eyes will be on the government post this historic change that has taken place to deliver on what they have promised. That's a wrap in this edition of YouTube Live. I'll meet you again with another issue. Till then, goodbye.